ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله. ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب.
I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the accursed. In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful. Those who believe and whose hearts find comfort in the remembrance of Allah. Aye, it is in the remembrance of Allah that hearts can find comfort.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In today's introduction, we will be covering Surah Ra'd, chapter number 13 of the Holy Quran. Ar-Ra'd means the thunder, and the name of this surah comes from verse number 14, وَيُسَبِّحُ الرَّعْدُ بِحَمْدِهِ وَالْمَلَائِكَةُ مِنْ خِيفَتِهِ. And the thunder glorifies him with his praise, and the angels for awe of him. Some commentators wrote that Ra'd was the name of an angel, but this is not correct, according to Hazrat Muslim Maud Raziyallahu Anhu. Rain also brings with it lightning and thunder, and it is in the fitness of things that heavenly rain, the Quranic revelation, should also have been accompanied by thunder and lightning. Islam has brought with it thunderbolts. Those who draw the sword against Islam shall perish by the sword, and those who owe allegiance to it shall sit on the thrones of power and glory. This is why the surah has fitly been called Ra'd, or thunder. A quick overview. The surah consists of 44 verses in total, including Bismillah, and 6 rukus. It was revealed in Medina, and it begins with the huruf muqatta'at, alif, lam, mim, ra, which mean Ana Allahu a'lamu wa ara. I am Allah, the all-knowing, the all-seeing. It also carries the second sajda tilawat, prostration of the Holy Quran, in verse 16. A short summary of this surah. The surah speaks about the creation of the heavens and the earth and all the signs in them. Despite all these signs, the disbelievers doubt Allah the Almighty and wonder how they can be risen again after death. Allah Almighty does not change the condition of a people until they change what is in their hearts. Emphasis on the fact that everything follows the will of Allah, whether willingly or unwillingly. Comparison of the seeing with the blind. How can these two be equal? The qualities of disbelievers and their reward. True comfort lies in the remembrance of Allah. Allah Almighty mentions that even if the Holy Prophet ﷺ showed the signs the disbelievers demanded, they still wouldn't believe in them. Allah Almighty also warns that people have mocked the messengers of God before and were punished. Then why would such people not be punished now? And those who have been given the book and are God-fearing, they rejoice over the reward of paradise. A messenger cannot show a sign without Allah Almighty's permission. Whether Allah shows the complete fulfillment of His prophecies or not, the prophets of Allah are only responsible for delivering the message. A note taken from the Tajweed Quran by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Rabi rahimahullah. Hazur writes that this surah mentions how Allah has given life to all things through purified water. Seawater, due to its salt quantity, becomes the cause of death for many instead of giving life. Hence, Allah purifies the sea water by taking it to the clouds and sending it back down as rain. This process is deeply connected with lightning and thunder, which are created from the rising vapors from the sea and cause it to rain. Sometimes these trembling thunders become the source of death rather than life. Another thing mentioned in this surah is the fact that all things are created in pairs. In this age, scientists have established that not only living things are created in pairs, even matter has a counterpart called antimatter. At the end, Allah consoled the Holy Prophet ﷺ that whether he sees the victory of Islam with his own eyes or not, Islam will ultimately triumph in the world. Let's go through some significant verses from this surah. الله الذي رفع السماوات بغير عمد ترونها ثم استوى على العرش وسخر الشمس والقمر كل يجري لأجل مسمى يدبر الأمر يفصل الآيات لعلكم بلقاء ربكم توقنون. Allah is He who raised up the heavens without any pillars that you can see. Then He settled Himself on the throne, and He pressed the sun and the moon into service. Each pursue its course until an appointed term. He regulates it all. He clearly explains the signs that you may have a firm belief in the meeting with your Lord. Regarding this surah, Hazrat Khalifatul Basir Rabi writes that the fundamental thing mentioned in this verse is the law of gravity. The heavens and the earth are not kept in order by chance. In fact, all heavenly bodies are held in place by pillars that our eyes can't see. And these so-called pillars are known as gravity. وَيَقُولُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لَوْلَا أُنزِلَ عَلَيْهِ آيَةٌ مِّن رَبِّهِ إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُنذِرٌ وَلِكُلِّ قَوْمٍ هَادٍ. And those who disbelieve say, wherefore has not a sign been sent down to him from his Lord? Thou art surely a warner, and there is a guide for every people. سَوَاءٌ مِّنكُم مَّنْ أَسَرَّ الْقَوْلَ وَمَنْ جَهَرَ بِهِ وَمَنْ هُوَ مُسْتَخْفٍ بِاللَّيْلِ وَسَارِبٌ بِالنَّهَارِ. He among you who conceals his word and he who utters it openly are equal in his sight, and also he who hides by night and he who goes forth openly by day. له معقبات من بين يديه ومن خلفه يحفظونه من أمر الله إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم وإذا أراد الله بقوم سوءا فلا مرد له وما لهم من دونه من وال. For him, the Messenger ﷺ, is a succession of angels before him and behind him. They guard him by the command of Allah. Surely Allah changes not the condition of a people until they change that which is in their hearts. And when Allah wishes to punish a people, there is no repelling it, nor have they any helper besides him. وَالَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا ابْتِغَاءَ وَجْهِ رَبِّهِمْ وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَأَنْفَقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ سِرًّا وَعَلَانِيَةً وَيَدْرَؤُونَ بِالْحَسَنَةِ السَّيِّئَةَ أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ عُقْبَى الدَّارِ. And those who persevere in seeking the favor of their Lord and observe prayer and spend out of that which we have provided them, secretly and openly, and repel evil with good, it is these who shall have the best reward of the final abode. Salamun alaykum bima sabartum, fa ni'ma uqbad dar. Peace be unto you, because you were steadfast. Behold, how excellent is the reward of the final abode. الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. Those who believe and whose hearts find comfort in the remembrance of Allah. Aye, it is in the remembrance of Allah that hearts can find comfort. وَإِمَّا نُرِيَنَّكَ بَعْدَ الَّذِي نَعِدُهُمْ أَوْ نَتَوَفَّيَنَّكَ فَإِنَّمَا عَلَيْكَ الْبَلَاغُ وَعَلَيْنَا الْحِسَابُ. And whether we make thee see the fulfillment of some of the things with which we threaten them, or whether we make thee die, it makes little difference. For on thee lies only the delivery of the message, and on us the reckoning. Jazakumullahu khairan.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In today's class, we are going to revise the rules of recitation contained in verse 29 of chapter 13. I will read the verse in the beginning. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. The rules of recitation in this verse will be covered in points. The first point or rule we will focus today is wasl. In the first word, letter alif with fatha will be joined with lam mushaddad. In this case, mutaharrik letter which is alif bearing a stroke will be joined with mushaddad letter which is lam. In Arabic, it is called wasl, which means to connect or join. In wasl, a letter containing a stroke will be joined with a mushaddad letter or a sakin letter. In this case, alif with fatha will be joined to lam mushaddad and lam will be pronounced softly with tarkeek. The next rule we will focus is about the huruf al-ghunna or letters of nasalization. For example, in this verse, tatma'innu will be recited with ghunna, which means reading with nasal sound. There are two letters of ghunna which will be recited with full nasal sound. First is mim mushaddad and second is noon mushaddad. So the rule says when one of these letters come containing shad, there will be prolonged nasal sound of 2 counts or 2 seconds. As we can see on the slide, there is an example of noon mushaddad. It will be read with prolonged nasal sound of 2 counts. For example, tatma'innu. Now we will focus on maddun asli, which means normal elongation and will be prolonged only for 2 counts. There are 3 letters of huruful mad, letters of prolongation: alif, waw, and ya. In this scenario, ya sakin is harful mad. For example, in alladhina, ya sakin is harful mad and it will be prolonged for 2 seconds. There are many examples in the Holy Quran to practice the rule of maddun asli. But as you can see on the slide, there are 2 examples where all 3 letters of maddun asli have been used. And when we read them, we will read something like this. Utina nuhiha. So 2 count of elongation will be applied while reading letters of prolongation: alif, waw, and ya. As you can see in the slide, the examples in the verse are as follows: Amanu al-qulubu, qulubuhum. Hence, all the word containing maddun asli should be prolonged for 2 counts. Next rule we will focus is tarkeekul lamul jalala, thinness of lamul jalala. If the previous letter of Allah contains kasra, the word of Allah will be recited with tarkeek, with softness, with thinness, like this: bidhikrillah. It should not be recited bidhikrillah, it will be recited with tarkeek, bidhikrillah, because the letter before Allah is containing kasra, hence the word of Allah will be recited with tarkeek, bidhikrillah. The next rule we will cover is tarqiqur ra, which means softness of ra. If the ra carries fatha or dhamma, it will be read thick and with full mouth. In this verse, ra is containing kasra, so it will be recited soft or thin as ra carries kasra. And the last rule we will focus today is huruful qalqala. There are 5 letters of qalqala: qaf, ta, ba, jim and dal. Whenever these words come with sukoon or come at the end of verse, then there will be slight shake while pronouncing them. As you can see, 2 words on the slide in the bracket, tatma'innu al-qulub. There are qalqala huruf in them, ta with the sukoon and ba coming right at the end of the verse. So while reciting them, there should be slight shake and it will be read like this: Al-qulub tatma'innu. This concludes the explanation, and now I will recite the whole verse once again. الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. جزاكم الله خيرا.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In today's grammatical analysis, we will be looking at Surah Ar-Ra'd, chapter 13, verse 29. Allah the Almighty states, الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. Those who believe and whose hearts find comfort in the remembrance of Allah. It is in the remembrance of Allah that hearts can find comfort. We will be looking at 2 selected verbs, amanu and tatma'innu, in today's grammatical analysis. Let's begin with the word amanu. This is the second word of this verse. The triliteral root of this word is alif, mim and noon. The madi, or the past perfect verb form of this verb, is amana. The mudari, which is the imperfect verb form of this, is yu'minu. The fa'il, or the active participle of this verb, is mu'minun. The masdar, or the infinitive noun of this, is imanun. Imanun means belief, particularly in Allah the Almighty and His words, in other words, the Holy Qur'an, and belief in His messengers and prophets. May Allah be pleased with all of them. It also means faith, trust, prayer, and the law which was brought by the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imanun contains 3 necessary layers of meaning. Firstly, affirmation by tongue, conviction of mind, and demonstration through actions. An example of this verb being used in the Holy Qur'an is يُخَادِعُونَ اللَّهَ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. They would try to deceive Allah and those who believe. Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 9. The lexical meaning of this word is He protected, He secured, He provided security. Amnun means security, safety, peace, freedom from fear and tranquility. An example of this has been used in the Holy Qur'an in Surah Al-An'am, chapter 6, verse 83. Ula'ika lahumul amn. It is they who shall have peace. Amanatun. This word also means peace, security, freedom from fear. An example of this being used in the Holy Qur'an is ثُمَّ أَنزَلَ عَلَيْكُم مِّن بَعْدِ الْغَمِّ أَمَنًا. Then after the sorrow, He sent down peace on you. Surah Ali Imran, chapter 3, verse 155. The plural of amanatun is amanatun. Amanatun means faithfulness, honesty, a thing which is committed to care or trust of a person. An example of this has been used in the Holy Qur'an in Surah Al-Ahzab, chapter 33, verse 73. إِنَّا عَرَضْنَا الْأَمَانَةَ عَلَى السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Verily, we offered the trust to the heavens and the earth. The analysis of this verb, amanu, is as follows. It is fi'l madi in the past tense, mudhakkar, masculine, jam'un, plural, and also ghaib in the third person. Let's move on to the second word, tatma'innu. Tatma'innu is the third and the 10th word of this verse, as it has come twice. The triliteral root of this word is ta, mim, and noon. A masdar or infinitive noun from this root is itmi'nanan. Itma'anna. Itma'anna is in the perfect tense and means he was or became in a state of rest or became calm or quiet. Itma'anna ilayh means he trusted or relied upon it to become at ease. An example of this word being used in the Holy Qur'an can be found in Surah Al-Hajj, chapter 22, verse 12. فَإِنْ أَصَابَهُ خَيْرٌ اطْمَأَنَّ بِهِ. Then, if good befall him, he is content therewith. The mudari, or the aorist tense of this verb, is yatma'innu. An example of this has been used in the Holy Qur'an in Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 261. قَالَ بَلَا وَلَكِنْ لِيَطْمَئِنَّ قَلْبِي. He said, yes, but I ask this that my heart may be at rest. Mutma'innun. Mutma'innun is in singular male form, and it means a man who is in a state of rest, peace, at ease, calm and tranquil. The singular feminine form of this word is mutma'innatun. An example of this has been used in the Holy Qur'an in Surah Al-Fajr, chapter 89, verse 28. An-nafsul mutma'inna, the soul at peace. The plural of mutma'innun is mutma'innin. This has also been used in the Holy Qur'an in Surah Bani Israel, chapter 17, verse 96. Yamshuna mutma'innin, walking about in peace. Tatma'innu, the analysis of this verb is as follows. It is fi'l mudari, aorist tense, present and future. Mu'annath, it is feminine. Wahid, singular, and also ghaib, third person. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today we are going to write Surah Al-Ra'd, chapter 13.
Shukre Khudae Rahman, जिसने दिया है कुरान, गुंचे थे सारे पहले, اب گل کھلا یہی ہے شکر خدا رحمان جس نے دیا ہے قرآن غنچے تھے سارے پہلے اب گل کھلا یہی ہے شکر خدا رحمان کیا وصف اس کے کہنا ہر حرف اس کا گہنا کیا وصف اس کے کہنا ہر حرف اس کا گہنا ہر حرف اس کا گہنا دل بر بہت ہے دیکھے دل لے گیا یہی ہے شکر خدا رحمان دیکھی ہے سب کتابیں مجمل ہے جیسی خوابیں دیکھی ہے سب کتابیں مجمل ہے جیسی خوابیں مجمل ہے جیسی خوابیں خالی ہے ان کی کعبیں خانے خدا یہی ہے شکر خدا رحمان